Irashaimase! Hello and welcome to Fitaurus' Kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Fitaurus. It's time once again for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and on the menu this Saturday we've got Silpheed, a rail shooter released for the Sega CD back in 1993 by Game Arts. Although, this Silpheed is actually a remake of the Japanese PC-88 release, also by Game Arts, from 1986. So what kind of taste will this fine shooter go and have? It's definitely got quite the lineage, so let's get cooking and find out.
Emergency, emergency. Bogies approaching. All interceptors scramble now. Repeat. Bogies, bogies. All interceptors scramble immediately.
Ready for taxi. Right alarm, check. Release brake. Compass open, coordinates set. Translator ready for launch. All systems green. See you later. Good luck.
And here we are at the start screen for Silpheed. So we do have an option menu that we can go and look into, but the only thing we can really go and change there is just difficulty and just the two settings, normal and hard. So we're going to just go ahead and tackle it on normal and jump right into the game. Game start. So I'm going to go and let the launch sequence that's here go and play for two reasons. A, I love the mech design in this game, at least that's shown in the cutscenes. I think the Silpheed Starfighter is a beautifully designed starfighter, and then the whole bit of going and having the transport platform, the linear catapult. This is not a drill. Definitely awesome stuff. I mean, doesn't that go and just look sweet? Flat shaded as though it may be, I still think even to this day there's something that's just really appealing about those kind of visuals. Alright, so jumping into stage one. One thing to go and note about this one, as far as shoot 'em ups are concerned, if you'll note in the top right, we actually go and have a shield meter that essentially goes and acts as our life bar. It's definitely one of those things that I feel, and I'm going to go and use that life bar liberally. Meaning, I'm going to go and take a lot of hits, and hopefully I do not die. Another fun thing about Silpheed, real quick, is there's all that radio banter going on in the background. Of interest to note is the original soundtrack was recorded in English. The Japanese version just goes and has subtitles for it, which is somewhat surprising, but maybe that was just the feel that they were going and seeking. So one has to go and note, as far as, I got one of the missiles, in 1993 it was definitely an awesome year for shoot 'em ups and, well, early polygonal shoot 'em ups. Earlier in the year, Nintendo went and had the release of Star Fox, I believe it was in February in Japan, and then, was it May or July in, let's see, North America. And this would go and come out around the summer time frame for Japan, and then later in the US. So it is after Star Fox, and in some ways it's a more impressive title, but really in the ways that it is, it's just kind of smoke and mirrors trickery.
Defense fleet destroyed.
By that, what I go and mean is the really neat backgrounds that we go and have, full of all the polygons, the action, the lasers, and all of that. Is just a full motion, kind of something similar to a full motion video, going and playing in the background that we're just going and flying on, and the enemies are on top. So it's a neat trick, but at the end of the day, it really is just a trick itself. Still, does it go and necessarily make this a bad game? Definitely not. It's just interesting how they chose to go and use the technology that was available to them to go and create and craft the experience. Although, one thing that is neat is they did go and map with hit detection certain parts. Oh, big toddy ho! Look at the size of that thing! I really don't think there's anything to be that impressed at. Look at it. It's like just a little bit bigger than we are. Come on. Still. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, I don't think it was a bad thing. They definitely still went and played well with the background. For all those areas where they're going and firing laser beams at us, or if there's like some walls or asteroids that are going and coming, there's hit detection placed upon those sections. So it's like the background is existent in the same plane as ours. I'm going to go ahead and let the story play here for a second.
An unmanned Solar Space Force fleet suddenly started to attack the colony planets. The Greason system, the central photon computer that integrates and controls the whole galaxy network on the mother planet, Earth, was network jacked by an unknown terrorist group. The leader of the terrorists solemnly introduced himself as Zakarte. The survivors of the Galaxy Union and the Colony Planets fleet assembled all their forces to strike at Zakarte. 64 light years lay across their way to the solar system. After drastic restructuring and the addition of reinforcements to the tactical fighter spacecraft, the SA-77 Silpheed,
That
their
is
last
one
resort,
sexy
the
starfighter.
remaining fleet began the counterattack. Their destination? The mother planet, Earth.
We will retake it. Probably not. It's actually a very difficult game. Alright, so between each stages we have the ability to go and change our loadout to some extent. Kind of similar to what Axelay goes and has in it, but this is a little bit different. So as we go and play through the stage based off of our score and our shield energy and a lot of other factors, we go and unlock additional weapons for our shots. So for the left shot I don't have anything, so I'm definitely going with forward beam. For my right shot, I do have the option of wide beam. I'm not going to go and take it because the wide beam sucks ass. I'm going to go with the forward beam. And then we go and have a third choice that goes and gets unlocked, the options. So there's a total of like 4 options. One that's kind of like a shield, one that's a shotgun, one that's homing missiles, which is what I have unlocked. The photon torpedoes, I'm totally going to take those. And there's also an antimatter bomb that goes and deals really, really powerful damage, heavy damage to enemies, and is great for bosses. And really, if you're going and trying to do a legitimate run to go and beat the game, you have to go and like pretty much save up all your option energy for the last stage and just go nuts with that on the final boss because, yeah, it's just unfair. That said, let's go ahead and move on to stage 2 with our new loadout, which is the same as the old loadout, except we have photon torpedoes. Photon torpedoes, proton torpedoes, which are the better torpedoes? Like debates and arguments. So here's this stage 2, where we're going and flying through an asteroid field, I think is an awesome example of the whole pre-rendered background that we're going and flying above, but with certain parts of it going and interacting with the plane of existence that we happen to go and also be in. Wow, my torpedoes just completely missed. You can go and see even the enemies are like subject to the hit detection that the asteroids flying through are, and that's a nice touch of realism because, you know, any starship that goes and crashes into an asteroid, there ain't gonna be much left. I also really enjoy the music for this title. I kind of have to wonder how the music was on the original, but being like a 1986 PC title, I can't imagine it was like that good. I honestly don't know. I might have to go and seek out some way to go and play that one someday in the future. Maybe, who knows, I could go and also be a feature on Shoot 'em Up Saturday. Or, alternatively, I can go and always just move forward. The title did go and receive one true sequel and one spiritual sequel. So the spiritual sequel, or the true sequel, is Silpheed Lost Planet, which was released on the PlayStation 2. A great, awesome looking game. Definitely expect to go and see that one in a Shoot 'em Up Saturday in the future. And then there's also Project Silpheed that was released on the Xbox 360 and is more of a space combat sim. So it's not a shoot 'em up in the traditional sense by any stretch of the imagination. That one I'm kind of sixes on whether I should go and cover it as well, because it is also actually quite a lengthy game. So if you're interested in going and seeing more about that title, by all means, please let me know in the comments below, and if there's interest, then I would love to go and show it to you. Alright, we're already to the boss of the second stage. This guy goes and attacks with some fairly devastating arrow missiles. And I am just taking some bad damage. Mr. Arrow Guy, will you please die before I do? So, if your shield happens to go and expire, there's still 2 more shots you can go and take. You can go and have your engine failure, which makes it more difficult to go and steer, and weapon failure, which goes and outright eliminates one of your 2 shots. So, neither is very appealing, but if it goes and happens, it happens, I suppose. So, I did go and earn 1 more weapon for the right shot, nothing yet for the left. It's weird. The flanks beam, which I do go and prefer to the forward beam. Well, at any rate, that's going to just about wrap me up for this episode of Shoot 'em Up Saturday. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the classic Silpheed. It's definitely one that's always been super memorable in my mind. I'm going to go ahead and let the stage play on the background for a little bit, just because, well, it's a super impressive stage. Like I'm going and saying, I love the mech design in this particular game, so going and getting to fly above a shipyard is awesome times. At any rate, I hope you've enjoyed this look at Silpheed, and if you have any suggestions for other titles that you would like me to go and feature on Shoot 'em Up Saturday, I definitely encourage you to go and leave those in the comments below. Once again, thank you so much for coming out to go and join me today for Shoot 'em Up Saturday, and I hope to go and see you again next week.
Oh, big tally ho! Look at the size of that thing!